I just told you that you guys need to know where I am, where I'm going. What's the plan for 2019? Where am I gonna go? How am I gonna get there? I'll be leaving Nha Ninh into Vietnam from the Mon Sai border crossing. Vietnam is notorious for confiscating drones and holding them until you leave from that crossing. And notably, people talking about the airport in like Da Nang or Hanoi or these big airport hubs where you fly to the airport, they scan your bags, they see your drone, they confiscate your drone, then they say you're not going to be able to take it into the country, but if you leave by this airport, you can get it back on the way out. I've heard horror stories where people, their drones are lost, they've got to pay $500 fines, all sorts of stuff. All the stories I've heard have been about airports. And I think that if I can go through the border crossing, then I might be able to bypass this whole airport scanning thing. And if I'm riding through on the trike, it's got all my logos. I've got signage in Vietnamese where people can kind of identify, wow, this guy's a traveler. He's not riding in and out of the same point. He's actually riding across the country. Maybe they're going to provide me with a little bit more leeway, or maybe they won't even scan my bags the way that they do at airports, and it won't be a big deal. I'm going to share the drama with you, and I honestly have been really nervous. Some tactics I'm going to use. I'm going to set my batteries all around the baggage so there's not like a clumping of drone batteries. I'm going to take the batteries out of the drone and take the SD card obviously and try and slim down my drone as much as possible so that if they do take it, it's just the drone body. I don't know. Vietnam is beautiful. Laos is beautiful. I would hate for those to be droneless travel vlogs, and that is going to be an interesting crossing at Mon Sai. So I'm going to ride south until I get to Ha Long Bay. I'm going to cross west into Hanoi, and then from Hanoi I have two choices. I can either go north to Sapa and Phong Tho, or I can go directly west, directly to Dien Bien. I'm really butchering these names, to Dien Bien Phu, which is the border crossing into Laos. There was a few different travelers. I watched their maps and they went up and over and down. It wasn't Ed Pratt, it was Gearing Up, gearingup.com, and they went up and over and down. And I asked them, I said, hey man, why did you go up and down instead of across? And he's like, I just wanted to see more stuff. And there was, you know, I'm not in the mood to go quick through countries. And it's funny to have another traveler tell you, I don't want to go fast like you. I'm like, well, I'm kind of going slow. Anyways, so I think I'm going to decide to shift my route from, instead of going straight across from Hanoi into Vietnam, going up and over and down. It adds about 100 kilometers. The length in Vietnam up until I head out to Laos is about 900 to 1,000 kilometers at that point. When I enter Laos, my mission is to head south through the mountains. It's going to be a crazy difficult ride. I don't know how many kilometers I'm going to be able to put down in a day there. I figured at the border I can get a 30-day. If I can get like a 60-day, then that would be more time than I ever need in Laos, and I'll make sure to utilize that all. But I figured there's a Lao embassy in Hanoi. I was going to stop there and do some fact finding and find out if I can get the VOA. That's enough. VOA means visa on arrival, meaning I cross the border and I get a visa, and that's the visa I use through. Or maybe in Hanoi I just pay a few extra bucks and get my visa there. That way I might make the crossing of the border a little bit easier. Ed Pratt, for example, didn't have any cash when he got to Laos, and he had to have a little bit of an adventure on how to cross that border from Vietnam into Laos. The big notable thing at this point is me headed to a city called Vang Vieng. Vang Vieng is a major city in Laos, and it's kind of a hippie hangout from what I've heard. There's a lot of tubing, there's a lot of drugs, but I'm not really interested in the drugs, but there is a lot of like good times to be had. So I think there I'm gonna do some river tours, gonna do some tubing, gonna enjoy life a little bit, park the trike, spend a few days there. Depending on the length of time I have in my visa will depend on how much time I can spend in that city and what I'll be doing. I'll be leaving Vang Vieng, headed south to Vien Tien, which actually most people cross into Thailand at that point, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna follow the Mekong River, headed east back into Vietnam. I'm gonna cross back into Vietnam, and once I get to Vietnam, I'm gonna go straight to the coast and start heading down the coast. I'll head down the coast a few hundred kilometers, about 300 kilometers, until I get to an area where it's near to an expedition, which is like my big bucket list item for Vietnam, which is exploring the largest undiscovered cave system in the world. It's called the Son Doong Cave, S-O-N-D-O-O-N-G. There's only one expedition operator that's even allowed in there. It's a national park. It's very regulated by Vietnam because they don't want to see this cave get trashed and thrashed. They don't even allow me to take my drone there, so I won't be able to get beautiful drone footage of a cave, which disappoints me, but I gotta abide by the rules. I'm going to have an expedition there. It starts March 18th, so I have until March 18th to get there. That's where I will have introduced you to, or will join with, a guy named Matt Fraser. If you guys don't know Matt Fraser, go back to my Mount Everest expedition videos, the very beginning. He came to visit me in Kathmandu. He ended up coming down with typhoid and 2 horrible diseases, typhoid and some other horrible disease. And then I had to go on my journey on Everest and hope for his return to health. He ended up recovering, obviously, but there was some worry. I was really worried about him on the tour, and I was also worried that I was going to get typhoid because we were staying in the same room. Anyways, Matt's a super traveler, backpacker, not necessarily a cyclist, but he wants to try to cycle with me and do this cave expedition. So he's gonna join me around the middle of February, and he's gonna ride with me as I approach the Son Doong area and we do the Son Doong cave tour together. I talked to the company that organizes the expedition, and I paid for that expedition. It was expensive, but I also told them that if you can take us on some extra journeys, I can do these YouTube videos, and I'm trying to barter the fact that I'm a YouTuber and get a little bit more in deep in some of their different tours there. And so I might be able to, me and Matt, travel some unique places in the jungle there in Vietnam, and maybe they can guide us. So this is around March. We're barely into 2019. At that point, I'll leave the Son Doong Cave tour after probably the end of March. If they provide me with some more opportunities, I could stay there longer. I'm kind of open-ended there. And then I head south along the coast of Vietnam until I get to Ho Chi Minh. And then I'm gonna cross Ho Chi Minh into Cambodia. In Cambodia, the big notable spot is Phnom Penh, and I don't know much about Cambodia. The only thing I know about Cambodia from my expat friends that have been there, that I know here in China, is that Cambodia has some of the most friendly people, and it's probably one of the most laid-back countries with regards to invasive tourism, kind of disrupting the whole theme and vibe of the place. So I'm very interested to capture some amazing moments. They all are supported by that SIM card that I have, that is sort of a global SIM card. So that global SIM card will track me through all of these countries, so I should be okay with regards to staying connected. It's not unlimited data, so I'm not sure if I can live stream just willy-nilly, but let's see, you know. I think that will be something interesting. If I get to the country and they have an unlimited SIM, obviously I'm gonna get that and leave my other phone as a spare. The freedom of being able to live stream anywhere or wherever I have connection is really an amazing opportunity. Thailand, I'm gonna take the southern route because once I finish Australia and New Zealand, I'll come back via Chiang Mai. And then from Chiang Mai, I will head west towards Europe, India, and all those other places. But I'm not going to talk about this. Is only about what I'm going to accomplish in 2019. Crossing into Thailand via Phuket, which is like the city on the border of Cambodia and Thailand, I will skirt Bangkok by the south. Bangkok sort of has instilled me with a little bit of fear. A lot of travelers have been killed there because of crazy truck drivers, and a lot of world cycle travelers have died. I'm not sure how I'm gonna tackle Bangkok. I'm thinking maybe I can find a hostel on the outside of the city and then kind of commute in to visit people and whatnot, because I do have some friends in Bangkok. Either way, I'm gonna come across and go to Hua Hin. In Hua Hin, my friend from Ningbo actually has a house there. I'll probably stay there for a few weeks, depending on my visa situation. And as soon as I get to an area, it's called Chum Pun, there's a ferry that will take me to, well, it'll take me first to Koh Tao, which is where I got my scuba diving certification. Then I'm going to go to Koh Phangan, and then I'm gonna go to Koh Samui. Koh Samui, I have a good friend there. There's a whole story of my time in Thailand that I want to share with you guys, of old videos. Really amazing story. I traveled through Thailand by myself as a backpacker, exploring the world by myself almost for the first time as a traveler, not for business. I came to China for business, but this exploration, this backpacking tour of Thailand was like the first time I traveled. It provided me a real amazing opportunity to see what the world was like, and it was instrumental in inspiring me to be a traveler today. And meeting my friend Steve in Koh Samui was a hallmark moment. Awesome guy. So he's still living there, opened up a business with his girlfriend, now wife, I think, but we're gonna check him out later. After Koh Samui, I'm gonna take a ferry back and I'm gonna cross Thailand all the way to Phuket. So I'll ride across Thailand to Phuket. I'll take a ferry from Phuket to Krabi, and then from Krabi I will head south down the west coast until I cross into Malaysia. I'll follow the west coast of Malaysia all the way down to Kuala Lumpur, all the way down into Singapore. I think that with the notable spots and the notable friends that I know in all of these places, that will be enough for 2019. It's possible that I continue to Indonesia, which is I'll head to Jakarta, and I actually stayed at that hotel. I would have been witness to that tsunami because I stayed on a hotel right across from Krakatoa. I actually went to Anak Krakatoa, stood on the volcano that has caused all of this problems recently, and I'll link to the video here. It was way early. Me and my friend Ryan traveled there. It's a funny video because I was just learning about video, but again, I got some stories to share there. In my mind, I don't think I'll be there in 2019, but if I am, I'll be cycling all the way across in order to get to the Gili Islands. And at the Gili Islands, that's a big notable stop. I'm going to get my master diver certification at the Gili Island Resort, where my friend Matt was a scuba instructor, and so he inspired me to want to check off that point on my bucket list at that point. The scuba dive course is probably going to be a month or 2 months, and so that's a very long stay where I'll explore probably while I'm learning how to upgrade my scuba dive, because I'm an advanced open water and I have, you know, deep water certifications and things like this, but upgrading all of that to master diver might take some time. That is going to be a notable spot to stay at. If all is correct, it's about well, not 10,000, it'll be about 9,500 kilometers, which is a nice haul for a year. Like I said, I travel slow. I don't worry so much about timing, and I think that's good enough for 2019. Maybe I go more, maybe I go less, maybe I have visa trouble that makes me have to leave countries earlier than I had originally suspected. Who knows? I'm gonna play it by ear. You're all gonna join me, hopefully, and enjoy the ride with me. There are going to be some backtracks to see Eva for birthdays. I feel like the most important times for me to share with my daughter are birthdays, Christmas, and Chinese New Year. Those are the 3 real major moments that I'll be coming back, and me and Annie are trying to work out how exactly I come back at all of those times. Maybe they come out to see me. There's an opportunity here that Eva and Annie will come out to Vietnam while I cycle through Vietnam, so there's that opportunity there. Just kind of throwing it out there. If there's anything that I can do in Cambodia that you guys think I should check out, know anybody there that I should touch on, I'd like you to let me know. If there's anything in Vietnam, you guys already been sharing a bunch of stuff, let me know. There's some historical elements about the war and things in Vietnam that I'd like to inspect and check out, and same in Laos. Thailand, I'm pretty well situated. I got a lot of vloggers and friends. We're gonna meet as a nation, the JaYoe Nation. And so yeah, that's cool. This video is getting a bit long. I don't know where we're at right now, but I'm gonna split it. And then in the next video, we're gonna talk about some old sections that are gonna be coming back in the vlogs. We're gonna talk about some new sections that I'm developing that you'll see new stuff in the future JaYoe vlogs as we go into 2019. Additional to the vlogs, some other stuff that I'm adding on the outside, things that I'm gonna improve, new people on the JaYoe team, new editors, things I might be looking for, and some exposés that I'm really interested in touching on in 2019. So let's stop this video. I'll switch to a new location and we'll go to 2019, looking forward to the future, part 2. If you guys are new to this channel and you've suffered, if you're new to this channel, you have just suffered through me talking about stuff that only really people that know the channel know about. But if you are, please support me on Patreon. I have a Patreon linked below, and it's on the end cards here. If you can't, that's fine, but if you can, I appreciate it. If you find value in these and in any sort of way, I appreciate it. I'm gonna start doing some more of these. They're called call outs, where I'm letting people know, because a lot of people might not know. We're gonna get into that in the part 2 video, but if you haven't supported me yet and you do think that I deserve some support, I appreciate that. Please do so, and like, subscribe, share, hit the notification. If not, just follow me. I'm on Facebook and all sorts of social media. I appreciate it. JaYoe, on to part 2.